know, I was in these YouTube streets and I was watching a video by Hassan Campbell, and I was disappointed because of what I seen. The video, I believe, is titled "Black Man Celebrates No More Food Stamps," and I want to react to this video. I want to react to this video because it have a lot to do with the current events. How people are literally crashing out because of their SNAP benefits, not being able to get the necessary resources for the month of November. And Hassan made a video reacting to some other guy who I guess he's celebrating. And he said some things that is rather disturbing coming from him, a guy that came from the hood, a guy that came from the projects. And I was expecting a little more in terms of him guiding the youth. And instead, what I witnessed, I believe, is him, I would say, and it's just my personal opinion, it's almost as if though he was pandering to black women due to the fact that most people that are talking about this particular issue on social media is more so leaning towards able-bodied people should go to work rather than depending on the federal government to collect welfare and benefits. I, in fact, support that individuals who are able-bodied should go to work, not depend on SNAP and all this other junk. Only the disabled, the elderly, and our veterans should get assistance. And if people were to get any sort of public assistance and they're an able-bodied person, it shouldn't be a lifestyle. So let's listen to what he had to say. Let's break all of this stuff down, guys. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
Y'all already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
I don't know if you know what you're looking at right now. What's happening in America right now? It's the fall of the African American hood rat. We're witnessing it. The fall of the Section 8 queen, the fall of the food stamp queen, the fall of the welfare queen. I spoke on this months ago in the 8 days after the inauguration on who President Trump was coming for and what he was doing it for. This for us, kings. This for us, black men. They putting the black man back at the head of the household. If you can stand under the pressure of manhood, he giving us our families back. Many of us, it's a wash. But for the generations coming after us, he's putting the man back in his rightful place as head of the household. I told you, and now we're here. The fall of the African American hood rat is upon us. We made it.
Scooby-Doo? First off, I don't know what kind of woman he's been dating. And I don't know what kind of niggas out there on the other side of this screen that's agreeing with what he just said. Like, first and foremost, I'm not in a competition with my wife to get my house back. Are you? No, I'm just asking you on the other end of this camera. So you telling me that you can't get control over the household that you living in because your woman is on food stamps? I don't know about you niggas out there, but I'm a man. And my wife do what I tell her to do. I run my house. So me feeling like the only way I can get power back is to see a black woman lose her welfare is diabolical. Not only is it diabolical, but it's weak.
Let me pause right there and kind of respond to that. I think that what the brother said went right over Hassan's head. I think it went over his head. Now, I get it. He probably feels that a man, I guess, complaining or celebrating means that he can't get control over his household. I don't believe that's what the case is. When you have most single mothers dependent upon a system of welfare, it pushes the man out of the way. By them removing this, it puts a woman back in her rightful mind, understanding that she needs this man. Because the way things is going, it is easy for a woman to become a single mother because she know the federal government will provide for her in terms of assistance. And the more babies she have from different men, she'll continue to get this assistance, whereas she don't have to be with these men. So what the brother is basically saying, in all sense and purposes, is, hey, by them doing what they're doing in terms of cutting these benefits due to all the government shutdowns, it is actually a wake-up call for women to know the jig is up. You can't continue to live off the system. You're going to have to now depend on that black man for your resources. That's the way it's supposed to be. A man is supposed to be the provider of his household. But because of the advent of welfare, WIC, SNAP, and all these benefits and EBT cards, most people have turned this into a lifestyle to the point where they don't want to work, but they want taxpayers to continue to fund a lifestyle that they pretty much put together using a sob story of, well, I got kids. Well, nobody cares if you got kids. You're having kids you can't even afford, and you're not even with these baby daddies. That don't make no sense. Nobody should be taking care of your kids. So I think that what the man said went over Hassan Campbell's head. I don't got no issue with Hassan. I really don't. I don't make videos about him in a negative way. I'm trying to do a clear-cut, concise reaction video based on my disagreement. I believe that with a platform like his, I think this was possibly his worst video. He speaks truth. He talks about a lot of issues. But I believe in this video, Hassan, I believe you dropped the ball in this one. Respectfully, I think you dropped the ball in this video. The guy, he's not celebrating as though he's laughing. He's basically saying enough is enough. You know good and well how it is out here. You know how it is in the hood. I was raised in the hood. I was raised in these streets. I lived in the projects. My mom was on welfare. My grandma was on welfare. I know all about this stuff. So I'm going to match that same energy that you put out in that video. And I'm going to break things down based on them streets, based on the hood, based on all this poverty stuff, because I already done been there already. And you being there and then coming out of that world and able to move your family into a better situation, you supposed to know better, dog. You supposed to know that resorting to a life of crime and violence is never the answer. But you said some things in this video that was out of pocket. Coming from you, you should have been standing on business and doing a better job with that one. Because if anything, you're misleading the youth, and even your viewers can agree that you missed the point of what that dude put out. Let's go.
It's absolutely weak to think that the only thing, let me tell you something, right? If your mind, if you don't have a woman's mind in her heart, then your money ain't nothing but prostitution. And when you ain't got that money no more, she's gonna get rid of you because you ain't worth nothing but that dollar in your pocket. But when you have a woman, like back in the days when welfare was first started and grandma was on welfare and grandma was hiding grandpa in the closet because she would lose everything to make sure he had a place to stay.
See, the question is, why would she have to hide him in the closet? Why he ain't have his own? See, this is where we have all the issues in the Black community. Women back in the days were the ones that had the apartments, that had this. And they would not marry. They would not get married. They would not have a man on the lease because why? Their rent would go up because they're on Section 8. Or they won't get the benefits because they got a man that work. You understand? So consequently, this issue divided the Black family. So again, I feel that Hassan's strategy in this video is to pander towards women because in the climate of social media, with how most people are quote unquote celebrating the fact that they cutting these snaps for next month, he figure it's a great opportunity to capitalize and win over the single mothers that are struggling. In other words, if I can be an advocate for them getting their benefits and their food stamps, they'll like my commentary, my platform, and I'll make me a few dollars. I get it. If that's your approach, if that's your method to make some cash on social media, then hey, it is what it is. But at least be real about it. Because I really believe that Hassan is smart enough to know that what this guy is saying is not a joke. It's not like he's making something up. He's speaking the truth. And being that Hassan came from the hood, he came from the projects, he already know what it's like. All of us that was raised in the hood, our mama, grandma, everybody was on welfare. We all came from them government cheese days where you had to literally put the butter knife or the knife on the stove and heat it up in order to slice the cheese because you couldn't cut that cheese regular with a knife. It'll rip up the whole cheese. So you had to warm it on the stove so it can melt right through and you can make some nice grilled cheese sandwiches. So I already came from that world. So I know the struggle. You understand? So for him to be defending the women like it's a good thing to be on these programs, it's counterproductive to the lifestyle that he's actually living because Hassan is living better now. Coochie sweater now. So at the end of the day, it's like, dog, you came from the hood. You know the struggle. Okay. But let's not continue to live in the hood mentally. Let's try to elevate these youths so they don't have to think that way. But what he did in this video, it's almost like you saying, well, if these women don't get what they need, their sons is going to go into these streets and get active out here and try to rob and steal. And it's like he was advocating for this, and he even went on to say, well, if things ain't working out for him, he's going to just go back to what he used to do. And that, to me, right there is a bad look coming from him because it's like, dog, if you're doing better financially, mentally, spiritually, then you shouldn't be saying, if things are going bad financially, I'm going to go back to what I used to do. You shouldn't even be doing that. So let's get back at the tape. Let's go.
Give her life and give up her apartment to make sure grandpa was all right. I don't know what's up with you dudes today, but here's my thing. For all of you dudes, right, that's clapping, shucking and jiving, happy to see women, black women, lose their food stamps.
Why it has to be black women, though? Why it's not white women? Why it's not Asian women? Because the strategy is for him to use black women, because he know a lot of black women will come to the platform, see the video, and be like, wow, he's speaking on behalf of us. So that helps his bottom line in terms of him making money.
What you think gonna happen with those women's out there, right? That ain't talking about running up in the stores and stealing. Some of the mothers, they ain't gotta worry about that. That's not what they got to worry about. Or rather, you know what you have to worry about? You gotta worry about not this sister right here.
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely for November. Y'all better come my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying. Trump, if you won't start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broken jack, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my, swipe my link card, food that ain't no pending balance on there. I'm going to walk, and I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch so hard he gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit. If you think I ain't gonna walk out that store, and please follow me to that car. If you feel it, you ain't gonna make it back to your mother position at the Walmart store. I'm telling you, you want to take some link? Like I don't be taking. Hey, watch this. It's okay.
Let me ask you a question, right? What you think gonna happen when they sons look at their mother and say, not my Mary? Ma, you ain't got it this month? I'm gonna go out and get it. What?
See, this is where you drop the ball, fam. Because now it's like you advocating violence over some food. You moved out the hood, dog. You got the nice yard with the waterfalls and the fishes and the fancy lights. That's dope, my dude. That's fly. So for you coming from the hood, you living good, everything seems to be afloat. And now you advocating for these savage women that talk about going to stores to loot, that their sons now would go out there and rob and steal. You don't think them very same sons would try to rob and steal from you? You might feel that, I guess, speaking on these issues, because I really believe respectfully that you're pandering to these women. I really believe that. And I get it. It's social media strategy. It can benefit you financially if you do that. At the same time, I know you know better. I know you know better. You see a lot of people making videos. They're all, quote unquote, celebrating. And you probably figure, you know what? Let me take the high road. That way I'm not sounding like everybody else. I get it. But where you messed up is you're not living in the hood. You living in a nice area with your family. So now, if these savages and these thugs and these wolves decide with their drooling mouths that, hey, Hassan looked like he doing good, maybe we should pay him a visit. What are you gonna do? None of us that are doing better should be promoting any sort of negative lifestyle when it comes to situations like this. Food stamps, EBT, WIC, and all of that stuff have ruined our communities. It have caused our people to depend on the government to the point where it becomes a lifestyle and a generational curse. And this is why most of us remain in poverty and remain in the projects for the rest of our lives, because all we depend on is that check that comes from the federal government. So I fully disagree with this particular video. I believe this is your worst video. It's your worst video because you could have did it better. You could have promoted the video in a way where it's like, okay, it may resort to them doing this, but then go on to say, hey, I don't advocate that. That's not what I'm saying. But you went even further to explain that if things was going crazy for you financially, how you're going to resort to going back to your old ways, which mean you never really overcame your past demons, dog. To be living the lifestyle you're living now, you should have already overcame your demons to the point where you don't no longer think like that no more. You see, when I was younger, I used to do crazy things. I don't do that stuff no more. Now I'm still a man. If anybody F around my family, it's going to be a problem. But I don't say to myself, hey, if things is going bad, I'm going to go get that pow and go outside and start robbing neighbors. That's not the answer, because that'll end up causing you to lose your freedom or possibly your life. And I think that in this video, the way you put what you said is almost as if though you feel that people should be afraid of these black women's sons. Nobody's afraid of them. Heck, most of us civilized people that have that pow are waiting for a ninja to try them. Like, seriously. And I spoke about this last night, that if people resort to robbing and stealing and doing this goofy stuff in Second Amendment states, it's going to be a lot of black suits and flower bringing and slow singing, like Biggie said, because ninjas are going to get put down. Let's go.
Say, not my married. Ma, you ain't got it this month? I'm going to go out and get it. What do you think is going to happen when the sons of these women go outside with their friends that's 100 deep? Little Mike, little Ray, little Carlito. What you think gonna happen? Oh, you think you got a legal gun, huh? You think you gonna hold it down with that legal gun, huh? When you got 20 little niggas coming at you with switches, what you gonna do? Huh?
I'm gonna put them down. I'm gonna put them down. I'm waiting for a ninja to try a family man that got to protect his kids and his wife. And you think you're gonna rob me in a Second Amendment state? It's gonna be a war. And this is why I'm letting you know, Hassan, this video, I feel, is your worst video yet, because a man of your caliber, a man of your level, a man at your age, you're supposed to be directing the youth in a better way. Yeah, you came from the streets, you came from the hood, I get it. But this, dude, it's not cool. Because here's the thing. What if you're the target? What if your family's the target? Most High forbid. What if your lady is out and about just doing her daily errands, and she's targeted by one of these savages that feel they want to rob somebody? What are you going to do about that situation? Because if you think by you making this video that those savages won't see you as food, You know how the hood is. It doesn't matter who you are. If they see you as food and they hungry, they coming. Let's go.
And they coming for your groceries. Who you gonna call? Ghost? Who you ain't gonna call? Nobody. You know what you gonna be doing? When them little wolves, when they drooling, when they teeth start looking like fangs, ribs is touching, so don't make me wait. When they ribs is touching and they ain't got nothing to eat, they gonna eat you, soldier boy. And you know what you gonna do? You ain't gonna be able to do nothing because you gonna be by yourself, traveling in your car, thinking everything is all good. And you ever seen that movie, The Book of Eli? When Denzel was walking down the block and then the woman with the shopping cart was crying for help, playing like a little dasu. That's gonna be one of them little black girls with a broken leg in the road. Can you please help me? And you're gonna get out your car to go help her. And you're gonna have 30 wolves run down on you and take everything that you got.
Now, you know good and well, no black man ain't doing that. Especially a black man from the hood. Usins that come from the hood, we got a sixth sense to recognize danger a mile away. It's sort of like if you have a bunch of wolves outside and you're a wolf yourself, you can sense a wolf nearby. If you from the hood and you from the projects and you outside on the block, you could tell something hot is around the block. Something's about to drop. Somebody about to get bodied. You already know. It's a built-in sense. Even the kids got the same sense to go inside. See, nobody's afraid of ninjas. We're in a new day. And the only people these ninjas will be targeting is other black people, because blacks have a habit of robbing and stealing from each other. They're not going to the white man, especially the white man in the South. The white man in the South got guns. And we're not talking about little guns. We're talking about big guns for the big boys. And they're target practicing every day. Every day. I hear it even out here. People target practicing. Popping that pow pow every day. Targeting. You know what they targeting for? To put a ninja down. That's right. So I think that with your platform, I get it. You got a business to run. You got to make your bread. You got to do what you got to do. In this video, respectfully, you dropped the ball on this one, because you're giving energy to demons that would actually turn on you if need be. You might feel you're supporting or defending the single mothers that are on welfare, food stamps, and figure, well, this is a part of the struggle as a black man, black woman. It's not. This is responsible for keeping us in bondage. And the longer our people stay on these programs, the longer they're dependent. And this is why they're crashing out, committing crimes.
You know what you gonna do? Nothing. You gonna cry. You gonna go back home to your wife, and you gonna have to tell her how you got, well, your pockets is gonna have rabbit ears. That's what's gonna happen. Because you think it's gonna be a joke. Them little young boys out there ain't gonna see their mother not eat. They not.
That's crazy coming from you, dog, because what you're basically saying is that a black kid would rather rob and steal and put his life in danger and go to prison or possibly die rather than seeing his mama starve. Rather than you tell these black youth to go get a job, you're suggesting that they would go out and rob. I don't think you thought exactly how people would respond to this, but this is diabolical, dog.
But y'all forgot what happened in the dope era and the crack era? Niggas went outside and got it. You had little kids out there, they got tired of going to school and they ain't have no sneakers. So they started selling crack, coke, and dope at the age of 13 years old.
To other black people, not to the white man. They were selling it to other black people. I was raised in the crack epidemic. My mama was on crack. So I know all about it. So them very same ninjas were the ones selling crack to my mama. They didn't give a F about the kids or what we had to go through. The dealers were selling drugs to our mamas, our fathers, and our uncles. And my mom eventually got off drugs, but it was a struggle, and we was on welfare. So that's 2 strikes, welfare and a mama that's on crack. So I know the struggle, dog. But what you saying here, it's crazy because we came from the struggle. So if there's anything, we're supposed to be trying to get these youths on the right path in life, not setting them up for failure, right? This is not cool.
That's how you got the Preachers Crew. That's how you got Fat Cat. This how you got the Supreme Team. Where you think that came from? It came from poverty and pain. Poverty and pain create some of the illest killers.
How come I'm not an ill killer? I came from poverty and pain. I watched my mama on drugs. I watched my mama be in the house with all these crack fiends smoking crack as a kid. I seen that in the crib. Do you understand? You know what it's like to see your mom and 6 other people inside of the living room and everybody on crack, everybody smoking? That's what I saw as a kid. Do you understand that? Poverty and pain. And it took God Almighty to deliver my mama off drugs. You see that? And you're talking about these youths selling drugs on the block and robbing and stealing. They're doing it to their own people. They're not doing it to nobody else. And I ain't saying doing this to somebody else is a good thing, because we shouldn't be selling drugs and we shouldn't be robbing from nobody. You're supposed to be teaching these youths to go get a job. But they not getting a job because their mama don't want to work. Their mama want to collect that EBT and that Snapchat.
You keep on praying for them food stamps to get taken away, and you're gonna mess around and get your TV turned off. You're gonna mess around and you're gonna get your TV turned off. Don't get caught outside slipping thinking something is sweet. Because the minute that them women can't feed their kids, and that oldest little boy in the house see that the rest of the siblings is hungry, y'all niggas is in trouble.
Think about what he's saying, fam. If they can't eat, other black people is in trouble. In other words, the one who's celebrating, we're in trouble. I don't think Hassan understand. They will come for you. You will be the ones that they come for. And when you see them little ninjas come at you and your family, you're going to remember these words and you're going to be like, Dad, I spoke this into existence and now I'm the one targeted. You're putting out the wrong energy, fam.
Some of you dudes is running around with legal guns because you've been good your whole life.
That's the way you're supposed to be. Good, not evil, not a savage. See, when you're an upstanding citizen, you can go into any gun store and buy a gun. You don't got to worry about nothing. Don't got no criminal history, no records, no nothing. I could go to any store. I could do whatever I want. I don't got to worry about nobody telling me I'm denied. I can't get this. I can go get anything I want. No problem. But a guy who's out in them streets committing crimes, he got to have illegal weapons. Think about what you're saying.
Some of us niggas can't get a legal gun because we've been bad our whole life. What you think I'm gonna do when ain't no money coming in? Because jobs is being eliminated and food stamps is being taken away. Jobs are being eliminated. Food stamps are being taken away. What you want? What you think I'm gonna go back to? What I know?
He said he's going to go back to what he know, guys. Hassan Campbell, YouTuber, said he's going to go back to what he know to do. This is not a good look. Because what you're saying is, even though you moved out the hood into a nice house, property, nice yard, for whatever reason, you're still the same person from the hood. Which means if times get rough and you can't put that food on the table, you're going to resort to going back to a life of crime, putting your freedom at risk and your life at your age. At our age, we don't got that kind of time. So it's like, you're not in your 20s. You're not in your 30s. You're in your 40s. So at the end of the day, why would you even be doing that at 40? Grown man, talking about I'm going back and do the things I used to do. Was it to sound cool on social media? I get it. You put some flex in the video, you know what I mean? You sound street, it is what it is. But it's like when you get older and stuff, it's like all of that stuff, it's not making no sense. Because I'm sure you're a man about your paper, you're about your family, you'll do what you got to do to defend them. But please don't tell the public that if things ain't going right for you financially, you're going back to a life of crime. And you saying it on the air for the world, for the feds. That don't make no sense. You should be guiding the youth.
Stick up kids is out the tax. You think that I can't feed my kids and you got 2 steaks in your house?
If I got 2 steaks in my house that I paid $100 for to put on them grills, if you think you want to come in my house and steal my steaks, you got another thing coming.
I ain't coming to get one of them. Now you tell me out there, all you niggas out there that's watching that come from the hood, poverty and pain, if this ain't one of the realest videos that I've ever wrote.
This is not the realest video you ever wrote or spoke or whatever the case is. And I'm telling you straight. And I'm from the hood, I'm from the projects, and I'm from Brooklyn. This is not the realest video, Hassan. This is your worst video yet. This is your worst video, real talk. I get it. You feel like you're speaking up for the black women that are losing their assistance, whatever, for the month of November, whatever the case is. I get all of that internet pandering to this group, pandering to that group. I get all of that stuff. It makes for good content. But for you to say that if you had issues with finances or whatever the case is, that you're going to resort back to that life that you used to live, or suggesting that the mother's sons are going to go out there and rob and steal, or that if you know that somebody got 2 steaks in their house, you coming for them 2 steaks. That sends the wrong message, man, because there's kids that are still in the projects that are going through the struggles. They're listening to you, the guy with the big house, with the nice crib, the nice yard. You got a nice yard, fam. These kids, when you show that yard and they see that, that's supposed to motivate them. It's supposed to motivate them to want to get out the hood, to get out of poverty. So to hear you suggesting that people rob and steal and you living good, we in trouble as a people.
Or spoke. Let me know in the comment section where you from. What projects you from? What hoods you from? What sets you claim, fool? Sometimes these people get us all messed up. Niggas is laughing. Most of us grew up on welfare and became productive people.
Yeah, like me. Grew up on welfare, grew up in the projects, grew up in the hood. I lived all over Brooklyn. All over Brooklyn. Flatbush, Brownsville, all over. Eastern Parkway area, everywhere, in all the hoods. I know what poverty is like. I know what suffering, struggle, all of that. I grew up in the crack epidemic with the drunk uncles and everything. You're telling people what hood they from, what project they from. Like, this is glamour. I get it. You come from the hood, it is what it is. You're not in the hood no more, dog. You elevate it. You got to throw an olive branch out there, a lifeline, to reel in these young men, to make them understand crime is not the way. Getting a job is the way. Having a belief in God is the way. Right? Your lifestyle is used and should be used as the bait to let these youths know that, hey, you're Hassan Campbell and you were able to defy the odds, get out the hood, make some paper, and now look, you're good. And now you teach the youth, hey, look at what I got. Because you know as good as well as I do. The only language our people understand is success. They don't understand all of that talking. Nobody cares about that. They want to see something. And if you got something for them to see, they'll listen. So when you in that nice yard with the fancy lights, you're supposed to be speaking to that youth and tell the youth, hey, I used to live in the projects. Now I got this nice yard. You should be like me. Put down the guns, put down the drugs. That's what you're supposed to be telling them.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna sit up here and watch some of these niggas sit up there and shame black women that's on welfare.
Nobody's shaming black women that are on welfare. That's where you got it wrong, dog. Nobody's shaming nobody. We saying it needs to end because you got able bodies that don't want to work. If a black woman is an able body, she's not disabled, she's not elderly, she's not no vet, what is she doing? She can go to work. So nobody's shaming them. We're holding them accountable. They want to live off the system rather than getting with a man and build a family together. You got your woman in the house. You got your kids in the house, right? That's called structure, dog. That's what you're supposed to be encouraging to these women. Structure, by letting them know, look, I got my wife, I got my woman here. My kids are here. So they can see that lifestyle. But if you're trying to make the dude that made the video look like he was doing something bad or make people look like they horrible for saying they want all these benefits to stop, that's crazy. Nobody's shaming nobody. Matter of fact, people should feel ashamed. Look at a dude, and you're most likely probably going to do a video, the dude that was crying on that podcast. Some dude that was affiliated with some woman. I forgot who her name is. I think he had some issues with Chris Brown or something like that over some bread. Dude was crying on air, on a podcast, and showed everybody his EBT card. Think about that. So it's a sense of shame being on those programs. Bruh man said he had to use a COVID mask to walk in to get his benefits because why? He ain't want nobody to see who he was. Dude was crying. After taking a few drinks, the truth came out. And I think one of his mans in them was like, yo, I got my EBT card too. And I'm like, so there's a sense of shame. So nobody's trying to shame black women. You feel shame when you're on these programs. You know good and well as I do that if you grew up on welfare and food stamps, mama, grandma, all of them, they sent you to the store with those food stamps. You remember them days where you had to go to the store with the food stamps in hand. Not the card, the actual food stamps. The brown and white, the green and white. You remember them? We all had to do it, and I didn't like doing it.
Some of our grandmothers was on welfare. They was the most beautiful women in the world.
We not denying grandma wasn't a beautiful woman. I love my grandma. She passed away. I love my mama. She passed away. We're not here to disrespect the mothers or the grandmothers. We know they were beautiful. We know they took care of us and they did the best that they could. We're not here to shame them. We're talking about a lifestyle that encouraged poverty. Being on these assistance programs have done more harm for the black community than good.
Now all of a sudden, some of you dudes get up under massa, you get up under the colonizer, and now you want to sit up there and shame black women that came from poverty and pain. That's where we came from.
Listen, nobody's up under no massa, dog. Are you up under massa? You strapped up your bootstraps, did what you had to do to make your bread to move your family out the hood. You ain't affiliated with massa. I'm not with no massa, none of that nonsense. So what you're trying to do is shame people that are speaking about these issues as if though they're doing the bidding of massa. No, the ones who's doing the bidding of massa are the ones who are encouraging people to stay on these programs. That's the problem. With your platform, your lifestyle, the success you are able to have, the way you're able to maintain your family and peace, you could be teaching this to these youths so they could be, or at least follow in your footsteps and be a guidance to these young men. Because at the rate they're going, they're just going to the penitentiary. Right? You know what the penitentiary is like. So at the end of the day, you could be guiding a whole generation of youth. You're dropping the ball with this one because you're encouraging this toxicity that you know is wrong.
Some niggas went to the street and they got it however they lived it. Some niggas went to work. Some dudes went to jail. Did 20 years in there. Came home, got their life together. We living in different days now. But if you strip us down to nothing, absolutely nothing, do you really think you want to live in a world like that where you just gonna be laughing at our pain? Yeah, I said our pain. Because them hood boogers, them hood rats, little Mike, little Ray Ray, I think sometimes y'all be forgetting that's our nieces and nephews, my nigga. I'm not Anton Daniels, my nigga. This is Hassan Campbell.
See, what you did right there, fam, you threw Anton Daniels under the bus. Now, I disagree with a few things with Anton Daniels. At the same time, you took a shot at him. That was a personal shot. And I get it. It's social media. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It makes for good content every time, but you took a shot at that man. And I'm not here to defend Anton Daniels. He's focusing on just making money. It is what it is. But you probably figure that Anton must have said something because he seems to be popular right now and his platform is booming. So I get it. That's why you called him out. He most likely made a video probably saying something in regards to the whole Snap situation and people crashing out, and you feel some type of way about it. The issue is not Anton Daniels. Anton is a hustler, a go-getter, his work ethic, he just focuses on his work and his business. Why can't other black men do the same thing? Why can't other black men understand what it means to win, work, and build themselves up? What you're doing here, Hassan, is keeping the black community down. Respectfully, fam. I'm not here to beef with you, bro. I made videos about you in the past, dragged you, all of that type of stuff. And I stopped all of that mess because I understand you've been through some things. You're a family man. We all in our 40s. And, you know, you're a dude who have influence. And you have a following. They listen to you. So consider this, bro. I get the whole I'm from the hood, pain, poverty. I've been through all of that stuff. I know what that's like. Dog, when I was a kid, I used to eat paper, bro, because we were hungry. The money didn't come in on time. We ran out of food. I ate paper, bro, with salt. No cap. Lift my hand to the Most High, bro. Me and my brothers sat down with a magazine, and we would cut the magazine with the chicken and cut out the chicken and used to play a little game called Eats. Put some salt on the paper, eat the paper with the salt. That's poverty, bro. I know what that's like. And I'm very transparent with my viewers. I tell them the real. So I'll never forget where I came from. But dog, I like it on this side better because I'm able to eat now. And that's what I'm going to teach the youth. I'm going to teach them the right way. You could do better than this.
I know what it's like to be on both sides.
Me too. I know what it's like to be on both sides.
If good, I'm eating. But if my ribs start touching, hit that like button, hit the share button, hit that subscribe button. Pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Because they smile in your face all the while they want to take your place. The backstabbers. I'm out. Live life as if you want to run and stay dangerous at the same time. We're living in the last days of America.
So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. I think I did a good job with this video. Very fair, balanced. No insults thrown, no nonsense, no drama. Just a simple reaction. And my final thoughts on the situation is, I don't believe that Hassan believed what he's saying. At his age, I don't believe that he would resort to a life of crime if the money not coming in. I believe he understands that at his age, that's not the way. And I think that he was in his zone, doing his thing, doing his YouTube, and he felt that deep down inside, this would be a good video for the youth. This would be a good video for people. And consequently, I think this was a bad video. So maybe he might see this, maybe he might not. He might respond, he might not. All I'm saying is, as much as people might be celebrating, there's a reason for that. There's a reason because SNAP, WIC, food stamps, all that stuff have destroyed black people. Destroyed us. To the point where we're so dependent upon the government that we don't know how to survive on our own. We don't know how to go out there and win. And we can no longer encourage this. So even though the dude you reacted to said what he said about hood rats and all this other stuff, I wouldn't make a video calling women hood rats. I think that his choice of words is not cool. At the same time, we understand the language of what a hood rat mean. You know, when you think of a rat literally just eats off the system. You know, a rat don't want to do anything other than eat and get fat. So I understand his point. But when you're dealing with this situation, it's a very sensitive topic because you have a lot of single mothers. And the first thing people going to do is say, you don't care about the kids. And, you know, these are little kids that are going without food. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to feel any way because your kids are starving. You had the opportunity to settle down with the baby father. You didn't choose that route. So if the kids are hungry because of your choices, that's your choice, not mine. Right? So don't try to shame me or make me feel guilty for the fact that the federal government shut down and you're not getting your benefits. You should have had a contingency plan in place to protect you and your kids in case hard times come. And if you want to be a single mom and be independent, that's the price that you pay for being a single mom, is when stuff like this happen, you got to fend for yourself. It's just that simple. But I really believe that Hassan could have did a better job in this video. So guys, if you're feeling the content, if you like the video, if you think I did a good job, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, hit that like button to support the show. That helps with the algorithm tremendously. And also leave comments, guys. Leave comments under the video, a bunch of comments. Do you feel that it's cool for what Hassan taught in his video, that if single mothers are going through it, their sons can go out there and rob and steal, that's a good thing? Do you feel that he encouraged the people the right way, or do you feel he did a bad job? What are your thoughts about the situation? Because at no point did he tell anybody to go get a job, to go work, to go do anything productive. It's like he just resorted to crime and violence. And this is typical of why every other ethnic group in the world have a problem with black people, because this is what we do. It's like if we can't get things our way, we resort to a life of crime and violence. This is why I'm speaking on these issues. This is why I talk about these issues, to bring awareness to this. So guys, we're going to get up on out of here. Y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for tuning in to RINGOTV Reactions. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.